Hello and welcome back. Okay, so in order to build our API properly, we're going to use the localhost because having to keep going back to the online version will slow us down. So we use the local version and then we're going to upload it online later on. So to start with, I'm going to have to start with a clean slate. So let's delete everything in here in our index page. So delete, save. Let's go to the API version as well. Let's delete the files that are in here. We don't need them except for the index API index.php. Delete file. Okay, so we have an index page in the API here. Let's just leave the PHP tags there. So index page in the API is empty and index page in the website is empty. So this will be our API. We're just going to be using the website side of things to try and read data from here as if we are accessing an API. And so we need a database. So I downloaded a sample database because we need a lot of records and I don't want us to have 2 or 3 records. It's better we have quite a number of them. So in order to get that information, just go to Google and type sample MySQL database and then open this one that has dev.mysql.com. So when you open this page, go to, where is this anyway? I have no idea where I had gone. Let's go to installation here. Click on installation. Let's see what it says. Okay, that's the place right there. So it says the employees database is available from employees DB on GitHub. Okay, that sounds interesting. So let's click on that one. So we are on GitHub and it seems like we do have some SQL files here. Very nice. So click here and download the zip. It's about 30 MBs. So just get that and put it in the folder. So I'm just going to say open containing folder and it's right here. So I added it here. So I just want to extract it. So just say extract to the folder. So let's extract to the folder. Okay, so there's a folder in a folder, no problem. So here we go. So we have some files here to look at. So very nice. Oh, what have I done? Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's the one. So there's some files here that we can get. So there's employees.sql and then there are dumps here, which are data dumps. So let's examine these files, shall we? So I'm going to open the folder from here and let's look at employees.sql. So there's licensing information here. Of course, like the good citizens we are, we're just going to ignore that. And let's come down here and look at this drop database if exists employees. Okay, so there must be an employees database, I guess. So if it exists in your system, it's going to be dropped. So just be wary of that. And then create database if not exists employees. And then use employees. Okay, so this is normal SQL. So it's going to create some tables here. Let's see. Department manager, titles, salaries, employees, departments. So then there's the structure for the employees, department manager. Okay, so this is looking pretty good actually. So let's run this SQL file real quick. So we don't have to create a database because it already has this database create, because it drops the database and creates one. So no need for all that. So we just have to import it. So let me go to my localhost PHP my admin, like so. Okay. So once that loads, we're going to go to, instead of clicking on new, just make sure you're not, actually it doesn't really matter. Just go to your import here. Okay. And then browse for a file. So I just want to go here and select the folder. That way it's easier for me to find it. So browse, I'll just paste it over there like so, and then get the employees SQL, open that up. Now if you can't find this employees thing, it doesn't really matter the database you find. It's not really a big deal. What matters is just that we have data in a database. So you can use any database of your choice, not really a problem. So go. This should create a database called employees somewhere here and give it a proper structure. Okay, so we have a few errors here. So errors were found during analysis. You have an error in your syntax. So it says near source at position 0, unrecognized statement type. Okay, so let's come back here and what is it talking about? So let's find where source is. Oh, okay. Source load department.dump. Okay. So this is where the issue is. It doesn't know how to load this information, does it? Okay, so what we're going to do instead is let's mute all this here. So I'm just going to put I'm not really sure about MySQL, the MySQL commenting here. So I'm just going to put a hash on each one of these lines just to mute them. But you can make a copy of this file and just delete these if this is cumbersome to do. Okay, so I think that's where it was complaining. So yeah, nothing to complain about anymore. So let's try again. I'm going to go back to import, browse again, employees, and go. Okay, hopefully now we don't get any errors in the analysis, because what happens is it analyzes the information before actually running the query, if those queries are runnable. Okay, so it seems things are good. We have employees now here. So if I click on that, we have a few tables. Very nice. Now let's go back here and see what information we can dump in here. So let's look at all these dumps. So the first one is departments, but let's look at employees first, because I want that one with employee names in it. So this is just a valid SQL statement. So just copy everything here. It's quite a lot. Then go to employees table. It's empty right now, but if I go to the SQL tab and replace, Control A, Control V to paste, and then hit go. I don't know what fatal error this is here. JavaScript error occurred. Who knows? But just run that, and so it can add the files that we want. Meanwhile, we can go back and look for more dumps here. So all these dumps are information for each particular table. So maybe department. This is the data for the departments. Looks rather small, so let's just copy that. So insert into departments. So that's the table we have to look for. This one is still loading because it's quite big. Okay, so it looks like we have an error. So got a packet bigger than max allowed packet in bytes. Okay, this is all good. Now if we go back to employees, let's see here. Employees. I guess that's why a dump is better. Okay, so it's still empty in here, but meanwhile let's go to departments, because we have a very small SQL copy there. Let's just go. Okay, this one didn't take much time. If we go to browse, we should see some content, but where is the content? Wrong place, man. Wait a minute, this is the structure. Oh, this is the structure. What's happening here? Oh, there we go. I was looking at this and didn't see the information here. So there's the information there. Let's come back and look for another one. Yes. How big is this? Is the question. I can't really see my cursor here, and it looks like it's quite big. Okay, so for now, let's just make sure that one of these is inserted correctly. So what I will do is, because this is quite a large amount of information, let me just select part of it. So I'll just select like this. Let's go up to maybe line 230, like that. Somewhere there. Actually, that's way too small. Let's go to 600 or 650 right there. So copy all that, and let's come back here. Back to, you can increase the max allowed packet in your PHP, not in your PHP, in your settings for Apache, but I don't want us to dive into that. So let's just copy and paste this. Remove the last comma at the end, and so we're at 650, and let's go and run that. Okay, so it looks like it wasn't a big deal for it to run that information, right? It didn't take much time, and if we browse now, we see that we have very nice information, 650 records. Very good. So in order to add more records, if you want to, you just need to go back here and just keep note of this. So this is 651, so we're just going to copy a few of these just to add to that. So copy, come back here and say import again. Make sure that the table, oh, not import, SQL, sorry. And then let's go to the second line and paste those. So take note of where you ended, 664 here. And then if I go back to the beginning, I'll have to get the very first line here. So just get the very first line here. Values, just up to there. Copy that and paste here. Looks like there's an error. Where is the error? Wait a minute. I guess it wants this line to be here, maybe. Oh, the comma may be at the very end. Okay, that was it. Okay, so that was fine where it was. So just put the first line there, and then you can copy as many as you want down there, and then just hit go. And that will insert like that. Okay, so if we go back to browse, now we have quite a number of records which are enough for us to work with. Then let's go to salaries. Let's add one more there. Salaries dump 1, which is this one. So we won't put everything just like the other time. So I'm just going to move up to maybe 600 so that we make sure that those employees have their salaries here. So anywhere here, just keep note of where you go. I went up to 700 here, but you can always check the IDs to see where you ended, so it's not really a big deal. So paste that and then go. So it says we have an error, and the error is at the very end there. We have a comma at the very end, so don't forget to remove the comma at the end, otherwise you get these errors. So remove the ending comma and try again. Go. Okay, so this time it worked. If we go to browse, we see that there. So same thing we can do with titles. Let's do the same thing. Let's just grab this up to maybe 700. Copy that. Back here, titles, SQL, paste, remove the ending comma, and go. Okay, there we go. So this is good. Department manager. Where is that here? Department manager dump. Let's go down here as well. Oh, so this is all. Copy. Back here. SQL. Select all. Paste. And go. Okay, so we have an error here. It says cannot add or update child row. Foreign key constraint failed. Okay. So this is the problem we did here. There are foreign keys on this thing, so there's a constraint, which means we should have started with this table before we inserted the other one. Now, a good way to check what tables to start with when you are doing this is just to see the order of in the order in which they were created here. So we have the employees. This is in the employees SQL. So we have employees, departments, department manager, and so on, titles, salaries, etc., etc. So we should have followed this order even in adding the information, and everything would have worked fine, because all these references are foreign keys, which means you can't edit one part of it without affecting the other, because there's this on delete cascade on insert. There are things that should be done, but we don't need all that information. The information we have right now in the in our table is more than enough, because we just want to see if we can retrieve information, employee information to be specific. Okay, so this is it for this episode. In the next one, we're going to try and read from this information. I'll see you then.